Hey, so today let's build a PC. Now this is going to be my first PC build, and it's going to be a budget PC build. But I want to prove to you that you can build your own decent PC on a budget. So let's get started. Now, I've already opened this stuff because I couldn't be bothered waiting. So these are just cardboard boxes. Let's get the real stuff. So let's start with our motherboard. It comes in an anti-static bag. So we're going to start by putting in the CPU. Now I'm going to use the cooler that came with it. I may change that in future. Maybe try some water cooling. That would be cool. And again, we want to be careful with static electricity. I'm going to unscrew these because this type of cooler doesn't need these parts. Wow, these screws are tight. If you're doing this often, you can get an anti-static strap. Open this, you can actually see it has a lock and unlock position. Now this is probably the most stressful part of the operation because CPU is so fragile. That's our awesome Ryzen CPU, Ryzen 5. There's going to be an arrow on the CPU and an arrow on the motherboard. You want to align these ever so gently. You can see they're lined up. Now we're just going to put it stuck down. Now thankfully the cooler already has thermal paste applied, so we don't need to add extra. But if you were adding a water cooler, you get some thermal paste. Arctic is a good mate. You'd add a pea size, like the amount you put on your toothbrush. And we can see where the fan is going to plug in. It says CPU fan. So we're going to put our fan in like this, because the other way was going to touch the RAM. Now each time you remove the CPU fan, you have to reapply thermal paste. So you want to get this right the first time. You don't want to screw too much on one side, as then it's hard to screw it on the other side. I've got some lovely Corsair Vengeance DDR4 3600 MHz. When you're getting RAM, make sure to get RAM that is compatible with your CPU type. So if it's Intel, get Intel RAM. These are our RAM slots. It's a mini ATX motherboard, so it only has 2 DDR4 slots. And they make this easy. It's written DDR4. You see the little dent there? You find there's a gap there as well. So you want to slot it in where the gap is. A bit awkward with the CPU fan in the way. Once it's in, you just push it down and it will clip in place. You hear that? And also something I forgot to do is take out the stickers. They seem to be hiding from me. To make sure they're fully in, you hear the click. But also you can just test that they're not budging. Now let's pop it in the case. Now I got a cheap case. That could be for water cooling if you want to put a fan here and remove that. But we'll see. We're going to get our I/O plate or input output. This looks so cheap. I'm going to go like this. Push it in gently. It should align with the screw holes. It's now time for the power supply, which is this big yoke. Now I'm surprised. Most cases have the power supply at the bottom, but this case has it at the top. So I'm a bit worried that I'm not going to screw it in right and it's going to fall on the motherboard. When you're getting a power supply, it's a good idea to make sure that the power supply has an 80+ rating. I'm going to put it in the very first one. Now time to wire everything up. Cable management of this case is absent, and it didn't help that I got a non-modular power supply. A modular power supply means that all these are disconnected and you only plug in the wires you need. So it means it's a bit tidier, but it's also a bit more expensive. So this is our main power that goes to the motherboard. There. And that seems to be everything done. LEDs in. Fans in. Now let's actually boot it up and then we're going to tidy it up. That in. Well, nothing's blown up yet. We have an issue already. Right, let's reset it. And we're in! So, I already had an operating system installed on this drive because I previously had it in a laptop. If you were installing this from scratch, you'd have a USB with Windows installed. You'd go online and install your Windows, and then you'd select your boot menu, you'd select the USB, then get a product key and install Windows like that. Or you could do what I did and clone a drive from a working device that has the operating system on onto a new device. And nearly forgot, Ethernet updates, and more updates. And let's not forget the CPU sticker. Get this wrong, it's gonna know me for the rest of my life. Oh, take two. Oh. I'm back. Well, I've been using my PC for a few weeks now, and it's great. I'm happy with it. Performance has been nice, it's been fast, it's been really cool. I will say, I wish I could turn off the light on the PC. It's like RGB light. Sometimes you don't want it. I also feel the PC could be a bit quieter. It's also running at 100% all the time because I just plugged it in. There's no speed controller. I could probably fix that by getting a better fan than the one the PC came with. But apart from that, it's all been good. Next time I think I'd get a modular power supply because there's a bit too many wires there. But apart from that, I'm happy with all the parts. I'm going to pop a link in the description for them, or you can find them on Amazon. Overall, I spent €350 on this PC build. That's quite good value for money. That was also thanks to the fact that I'd taken an SSD I had in an old laptop, so it had the operating system, Windows already on it, so that saved me a bit of money, and that's something to consider. But would I recommend building a PC? Totally. It's an awesome project, really cool, fun, and not that hard. Subscribe and I'll see you next time.